What a week. 50 basis points, lots of ups and downs. Stocks are flying, stocks are falling apart. Bitcoin is all over the place. Gold is going crazy. So, of course, we're bringing in Scott Redler to teach us what to do at times like this. It felt like money was falling from the sky yesterday. Now it's being taken away. So it is time to figure out what our next steps are. So, Scott, how are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. I had a better day yesterday than today, but it goes to the territory. I feel like most Fridays, for some reason, there's always things like happening and weird that gets me in a kind of like a little bit of a bitter mood. But not today. I'm okay. All is well. I can't complain. It's funny. Like yesterday, after the Fed day, I know a lot of traders were like, look at the red dog reversal top, look at the bearish outside day, and everyone wanted to be short. And I'm like, guys, it's the day after the Fed. Usually they do something to trap everybody. Don't get short if you don't want to be long. I get it. I did take some decent longs out, and I wound up making good money yesterday. But it just kind of just annoyed me just the way the action was again. Like, did they have to really close almost on the lows of the day on Wednesday, gap us up 10, 12 points in the SPYs or 10 points in the Qs, get people comfortable buying things, and then today you had to make them feel uncomfortable. So the bottom line is the computers are really good. They're really trying to make both sides of the tape feel as uncomfortable as possible. So you really have to have a conviction in what you're doing. You have to really know your tier size, your share size, what you can handle, because you could feel like you're about to get really hurt and get out earlier in the day, and then all of a sudden you're like, wait, now everything looks fine and dandy. So with that being said, you have to adjust what you're doing with the market. At this time, the market's making it a little bit trickier intraday, and it's rewarding those who have conviction for the course of the week / overnight, if that makes
Oh,
any
okay, all
sense.
right. Okay, so let's say hi to the audience. So let us know in the chat, where are you watching from? I am in Brooklyn, New York. Scott is in New Jersey, America's armpit. Um,
Ah,
but
not very nice.
I know. All right, so we're gonna play a little game to keep things interactive. We haven't played this in a little while, so everybody in the audience, you can participate. We're gonna play two truths and a lie. So I'm gonna make three statements. One of them is a lie. So tell us which one in the chat. Steven is in the Bronx. Steven, how you doing? Tracy's in South Dakota. I'm sure we're going to have Itz and some of our other friends out
Yeah,
there.
this was out of
Okay,
the
so
blue, so I think people don't know exactly what's happening. Plus, there's a rebound, so everyone's kind of busy. So let's see who's coming in.
okay, all right. We have Italy, the Bronx, Dallas, Newport Beach, California. Okay, so we're going to play a little game, Scott. Okay, so there's three statements on the screen. Everybody type what you think is the lie. Number one, CEG is the number one QQQ stock this month. Number two, oh, whoops, slides are messed up. Of course, I screwed up.
Come
So
on, Michael.
I know I'm usually perfect, but today I screwed up. I'm a little bit under the weather. That's my excuse for today. So just 1 second, guys, and we will be back to the game. Okay, here we go. Okay, Mr. StreamYard is processing. We will be up in 1 second. Christina already has a guess in.
So you want to know what's the lie?
Yeah.
Can we see it
Okay.
again? I wasn't paying
Yep.
attention.
All right. That's okay. I wasn't paying attention when I made it. Okay. All right. So which one is the lie? CEG, number one QQQ stock this month. Number two is Tesla is down this year. Number three is GLD is up 21% year to date. What is the lie? Christina says number
Tesla's
two.
not down on the year. Gold is probably up more than 21%, and CEG is the number one. I would say one is the lie, but it's too obvious. But I'll go with one anyway.
Okay. Anybody else want to make guesses? Okay, so the lie is number three. because GLD's up to almost 27%. Tesla actually is down this year, and CEG is the number one QQQ stock this month. They got that deal with Microsoft. So unfortunately,
January 1st. If you look at Tesla, Tesla's down on the year. You go to January 1st, Tesla was like, it was like 255-ish. All right.
See? That means the house wins. The house takes all the money. There are no winners today, except for my ego. But that's okay. We're here to have some fun, let off a little steam on a Friday. We can play together. We can play again next time. So, Scott, what is on your mind as we close out this zany week? Like you said, yesterday, of course, was a lot of fun. Today, not so much. So what's on your mind right now?
I'll be honest. Yesterday was a lot of fun because I broke a few rules. Like, on Wednesday, the market closed pretty much on the dead lows. I read so many technicians that I truly kind of like, and I'm usually on the same page with. And everyone was talking about how the SPYs did a push through failure. It's a red dog reversal in the Qs and the SPYs and this and that. And a lot of people going out short saying that was it. We failed. And I was just like, listen, I see the chart pattern, but we've seen this gazillions of times on Fed Day. They just do the opposite the day after. And I said it on Twitter. And I said, I'm not going home short. I'm sticking with some of the swings that I have. And I actually bought a few options just in case. And I made really good money yesterday. But it wasn't the right way. I just felt like it wasn't the right way. Like, you go to the chart of the SPYs. Let me just show you real quick. We go to the chart of the SPYs.
Scott,
I do it. So let's do it.
Right.
I'll do it. Red Dog will do it. I'll go to present. I'll go to the chart of the SPYs. I'm a little tired today, so I apologize. But so if you go here, the chart. So basically, if you go to the chart of the SPYs, like, this was the candlestick on Fed Day. First you had a breakthrough failure, which made some sense. It wasn't going to go, before the Fed. And then it got above this, and then it closed on the dead lows. And I was like, it just looked like you shouldn't be long. I get it. Everyone loves to be short. We've come a long way. Why is the Fed cutting, 50 basis points when the stock market's at all-time highs? Everyone's bantering this and that. And then if you went home short, you were in trouble. And if you went home flat, you're like, I suck. And if you had a bunch of things, you had to do it. And then today, we had to come in and kind of fill this gap. You can't really see the gap here on the SPYs now. And overall, this is still above the 8. They were a little overbought, so this makes some sense. This is ex-dividend, so you have to give it a grain of salt. I like salt, but a little sodium's not so bad for you. You just can't have too much. So let's go to the Qs, because the Qs aren't. So this isn't so horrible, but just the way these computers are doing this trade, they make you take excessive risk when you're not ready to. And here's the Qs. So the Qs, close on the dead lows. It did another red dog reversal, gapped up, gave you a doji. If you bought anything yesterday in the first hour, today made you feel bad about yourself. So what did it do? It filled the gap, which is okay. So now this is gone. This low is now your new point of reference. This is what? This is 478.30. This is gone. So we'll see. Going sideways here wouldn't be the end of the world. And all in all, it's just another day in the life. The semis are really weak today, which is a little annoying. The semis, lagged, which I get. It could be because we'll get to it. NVIDIA has a sell imbalance. Usually Apple has a sell imbalance, but Apple has the buy imbalance because Buffett sold a big stake, blah, 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 blah. So anyway, bottom line is, the semis are holding on by a thread. It's hard to be so bullish when the semis, which led a lot of the year, but I guess markets rotate. If this holds here, it's fine. But I do think that it's a little, it's a little worrisome, or whatever it is, that this might be, this. Actually, you know what? You can even draw this chart here. Let's draw this. This is like an ascending channel. As long as this doesn't break, I guess you can't get too bearish on the semis. And I do think, which Mike can get to with us, what I'm looking to do into the close to see if we're right. But all in all, they're not making it easy any which way. They're not. Between the August 5th low to the pain, to all the way back to the highs, and then 8-9 days of consolidation to break it below that on the first day of September, to then bring us back to where we were, close us weaker on Fed Day, and then gap it up. It's like, okay, it's almost like if to treat the market as if it trades 24 hours, and pre-market, post-market, that doesn't care. Just know your price points, and if they're there, you go with them. If they're not there, you try and have some patience.
Okay, Scott, how about gold? I think I actually feel like not a ton of people are talking about it. It's had this amazing uptrend. It's the number 2 major ETF this year. Do you think this is a sign that, we've also seen utilities, pretty strong value stocks, do you think this is a sign there's trouble ahead?
I just think if you're an asset allocator and you put 10% of your portfolio in gold, you're doing great. If you're a gold bug and you buy physical every month, you're doing great. If you bought the GLD when it crossed this spot on August 8th when we were talking about it, because now it's above the 8 and 21 day, which is part of my momentum strategy, that if you trade actively for a living, you could be in a sector above the 8 and 21 day, and it's been above this entire time. It just rewarded everyone on every time frame. So what that means, I'm not smart enough to know what that means. All I know is what it means. If you're an asset allocator, you're doing great. If you are hoarding physical, you're doing awesome. If you trade for a living, it's worked out very well. So congratulations to all the gold guys out there. I will say the silver guys are a little frustrated, but the silver looks pretty decent too. Like you had your move up, had to do this. Wow, that was pretty gross, but held the 8 day. Silver looks okay, and all the virtual gold guys or the digital gold guys are trying to get excited right here because Bitcoin's trying to act a little bit better. But overall, gold has been absolutely fantastic for everyone from every different reason. So I'm not going to give it a reason why it's here or what it means. All I'm going to say is it's worked out on every time frame, and congrats to you if you made money there. So that's pretty much the reason why you're in this market, is to build wealth, make money, and kind of follow your rules and be right so you feel good about yourself.
Okay. Do you have any feelings about what we could see on Monday? Are you looking to flatten out or anything into the close today?
No. If you look at the Qs are not giving any reason to flatten out. Like we're above the 8 day. We can go sideways. The SPYs, no reason to flatten out. The IWMs, again, we just went so far so fast. Just a matter of how much size do you have, and can you handle when your P&L is lower because you can't handle what's going on. There's no reason to flatten out. You have to manage your positions and know where the money's flowing, and that's it. Like Tesla, someone's saying about Tesla. Tesla's annoying. Like, this is annoying. I made really good money in Tesla yesterday. I did through 235. That was the plan. I had options on, sold my options. Then today I came in long Tesla, a decent amount, and then it was down $2, and I thought, hey, maybe it can go red to green and push up. Instead, it had to have an inside day and mess with everyone. That's not easy. This is not easy. Not that the market's supposed to be easy, but the bottom line is, Tesla has had other sequences where it's made it easier, and this one is a little bit trickier, in my humble opinion.
Okay, is there anything in this market that's not tricky?
Yes, Dash. Look at how beautiful Dash has been. Dash during the August 5th move came out with earnings and held in there. Nice little, you could call this a bull flag, broke out. They tried to sell it down with the insiders selling some when we bought that, and now here you are. Dash has been a lot easier. It's a little loose and wide, but Dash has been pretty easy. There are some things that have been pretty easy. What else has been pretty easy? Not a whole lot. Like Amazon's kind of like doing all right, trending higher. What else has been pretty special? Like I like to be in things that you could sit in, you could massage, you could buy a dip, you could trade it through an area, you could sell it higher, and then play that range and not have it just feel like making you like you're trapped. There's not a whole lot of that out there right now. Let's ask everyone else. What's been easy? Meta.
Yeah,
Meta hasn't been easy, Apollo. If you look at Meta, today was easy, okay? But if you tried to buy the breakout here, you got hurt. If you tried to buy the breakout here, actively it hurt. This move was good. I can't complain about this move. I had options on. You could have bought it, today and made money. This Meta, but leaders do that. Leaders are supposed to play by the rule. Meta has been pretty easy if you don't have too much at the wrong time. Like Netflix has been really hard. Like Netflix, like what the frick is going on here? It's still fine, but every time if you would have bought it above 700, it pulled back in. And even yesterday, 715. So that's hard. Meta is kind of okay. Even Apple, Apple, had to do a topping tail, and then I guess filled the gap, and it's been pretty easy. But now everyone's like, why is it that easy? Because there's a huge buy imbalance because Buffett sold someone for the first time, that and then it's down next week. I don't know, but to me, I'm trying to figure out like what has been easy. CORZ was pretty easy, which is like a Bitcoin miner, believe it or not. I hate to say it, but like I had my open house last week. We bought this below 10. And then when Bitcoin pulled in, it actually showed relative strength. We got really small into this 1260 area. It held the 8-day. We were buying it today. It made me some money today. So that's been kind of easy. Anyway, what else, Michael?
Okay, so why don't we talk about Bitcoin itself? Because it seems like on a longer time frames, Bitcoin is in a downtrend. But
downtrend? Who says that?
I say it.
Oh, okay. Depends on which, okay. So here's Bitcoin.
Yeah,
I wouldn't quite say it down.
Okay,
yeah, right
Scott,
here is the downtrend. You're right. This right here is, it's not really, I guess this area is kind of got above the downtrend, and this has been like if on the daily chart, it's been, I would say, more of a channel versus like, I'm not, listen, you're my editor in chief. You know a gazillion about the market. I'm the chief strategic officer here. And
no, Scott, I think this is a good learning moment because to me, and Scott, we need you to be brutally honest here. I think this chart I own a little Bitcoin for like my long-term portfolio. To me, this sort of just looks like sloppy garbage. But what do you see here? We need the brutal red dog honesty right here. Am I insane?
Sloppy garbage. You're exactly right. Since February till now, it's been sloppy garbage. But there's a big but. You go to the weekly chart and you say this sloppy garbage on a weekly chart looks pretty damn healthy. Why does it look healthy? Because look where this was in January 2023. It was at 18,000. Look where it was in September of 2023. It broke above 31,000, 40,000, 48,000. So this sloppy garbage, which it is actively on the daily chart, is actually healthy consolidation for macro digital currency, Bitcoin. What do they call those guys? Not mags or the Angelis, or what do they call the guys that love Bitcoin? Whatever they are. But anyway,
like crypto bros.
Somebody knows.
I don't know.
No. Someone on the chat room knows what. If you're just a Bitcoin guy for crypto, what is that called? Come on, you know what I'm talking about. Christina might know. Anyway, while we're looking at that, overall though, this has been a pretty healthy consolidation. If this was a chart of like Apple or Microsoft or whatever, and Microsoft went from here to here and like, oh, now it's time, not a hold. That's when you're going lower. Overall, this looks pretty. This looks very pretty, and it looks like at some point it's going to take this out and get to 73 and go higher. A Maxis. There's Sam. Thank you, Sam. I appreciate that. Here, it kind of been a disaster if you tried to play it to go up when they halved it here, which I didn't, lost money in the BITO calls. If you thought, hey, now it's ready, and you played it to go up and it came down. So actively, it's been a disaster. But that's your time frame. Actively, it's just been a disaster. But maximalist, there you go. If you're a long-term Bitcoin holder, you don't really care because you're buying it every month, and it's just like gold. And at some point, it's going to take this out. It could be 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, and this is going to be $90,000 to $100,000. The last few years, I know guys that have been battling gold for 5 years. 5 years, it's been a tricky trade. And they've been accumulating, and then you go to GLD, and finally, they had their day in the sun. Look at this. Doesn't this look like Bitcoin looked? Look at this range from 2020 all the way to right here. Took 4 years to consolidate this move in gold. So if you take a step back and say, hey, let me look at Bitcoin, it's not so it's just consolidate. This is how long it took to consolidate gold, and now look, boom. So there will be a point when Bitcoin gets above 73,000 and goes to 100,000 plus. And if you're tired out because of the daily minutia, which we all do get, you're not going to catch a move like the same way those who have been looking for this move in gold. Oh my God, it's going to happen. No, it's going to happen. No, it's going to happen. Woo, it happened. And it did happen in gold. So if you go back to Bitcoin, go like, let's use the IBIT because a lot of people like that. Can't even use it there. You got to go to the daily chart. Let's go back to Bitcoin itself. It just looks like it's taking its time. And at some point, if you're not worn out enough, there'll be an awesome trade actively. And then there'll also be, a very big macro move for those looking for it. Here we are. So this was your first move. Then it broke to the downside and held. And at some point, this is going to take its time and it's going to go again. Just like gold, it just takes time. These things sometimes take time. The bigger the base, the bigger the move. I think there's a different saying to that, but I'll just go with that one for now.
Okay, all right. So Bitcoin, sloppy mess, but if you have a different perspective, it could be a repeat of what we saw with gold. Okay, Scott, so our friend Steven is asking about SMCI. Now, I know you've been talking about SMCI today. They might file their 10K soon, and the stock is up today with tech down. So maybe somebody smells something coming. So I know you're in SMCI calls. So what's the story here?
What's the story here? By the way, this was fantastic when that happened. And then everyone's like, how, I feel like the last time I really played SMCI was right here. You had your double red dog reversal and it broke down. And then maybe we tried it here. So I was like, you know what? It looks technically like there's a little short-term bottom here. And they're supposed to be filing their 10K to show that they had no shenanigans. I had a few sales traders hit me up saying, hey, they think it's going to happen in the next few days. I looked at the chart, tried to connect the dots, and I bought some options. And I just said, hey, a lot of people have made a lot of money short this. Hindenburg says be short this. I just said, hey, guys, don't be short this just in case. And I bought some options. And I think if they do file a 10K and there's nothing really material there, because I don't think they did fraud. I personally don't think they did fraud, but they're being accused of it. They come out with the right lawyers and they connect their dots. Chances are, this gap gets filled and this is like 513 and then it's a nice trade. I'm not buying it because if they came out with their 10K and it was sugar honey iced tea, maybe it goes down 50 points. But if I have options on, worst thing I could do is risk my premium paid, and I've accumulated a bunch, and maybe there'll be a trade technically if you're at your seat when they do it, but chances are they do it after the close this and that. So you kind of have to be an option. So I went with options, and what's this high here? This high is 487. So I think the risk reward here is good, but again, if you're waiting for a confirmation, this isn't the type of thing where it's going to happen. It's either going to work or not work, and you need to play it how you feel comfortable. And I'm in options. I'm not in a call spread. I thought maybe if it ran, I would create a call spread. It would help, but instead I'm just in options, and I'm down a little bit on them. I just added more before. If you go here to SMCI, here's SMCI. Okay, if you look at the actual trading of it, this is your intraday on SMCI. So I don't know what it's going to do with the reaction to the close, but I would think that, I wouldn't want to be shorted. That's what I'm saying. And will it work long? Maybe. And if it does, well, I'll get paid a lot of money. If not, you know what? I tried it. I think this is an 11 versus 6 in blackjack, not a 6 versus 6 where it's like, I'm going to stick so he could bust. No, it's a shitty hand. This to me is a decent hand from 1200, 934 down here, going sideways. It makes sense.
Okay, Scott, how about I'm going to just pull one out of the air, Airbnb. So this one, it had a huge drop, but the last couple of weeks it's been going up. Pretty strong. So what are you seeing with Airbnb here?
I think, the small caps are having a decent move because of, the Fed lowering rates, and it's having a broken bounce, like a bunch of things. I think this is the last time, I showed the chart and it had a big move, and it looks like it can get up to here. Looks good. Let's talk real quickly about the rebalance into the close, because it's 316 and I got to get moving and ready for it. Okay, so I have guys that play the rebalance, and some people are like, Red Dog, why are you buying Apple, on Monday? I'm like, well, because I'm hearing there's a big buy for Apple because Buffett reduced his shares. Usually there's a big sell because there's not as many shares outstanding and people are over allocated to Apple. So the indices have to get, sell it. This time he sold and people are under invested. And PS, Apple had a big move. Some guys heard this here and got really hurt. That wasn't me. I bought options here and made really good money. Unfortunately, I didn't roll them higher, which is fine. So now this is where it is. Okay, so Apple overall, remember the iPhone 16 isn't selling, and then it's selling, blah, blah, blah. The bottom line is the flows are to the upside. And people are now trying to cheat and play it for the last 10 minutes of the day, which is okay. I've done this in the past where Apple's always just sell, and they sell it down like $4 into the close, and I'm buying it into the close because on Monday, the sellers are gone and it works really well. And it's just another different type of strategy. Now I think there are too many people that have heard this that have been cheating. It went from here to here. So I bought some puts for next week just in case. I'm not shorted. I'm not playing that game, but I do think, technically I want to play it again long, but I do think it just came pretty far. So what happened is, because of this, there's been a sell on NVIDIA. NVIDIA, the market cap switched or flipped. I can't even get into it 100%. So that's why NVIDIA was kind of weaker yesterday, weaker today. So people like, look at Avago, Red Dog. Why is Avago so strong? Well, Avago has a buy imbalance for some reason. So mechanically, it's working better. NVIDIA has been mechanically for sale, but overall, it doesn't look so horrible. Like if you look at this chart here, not so bad. And I'm just telling you the way it is. Like it might not work. So what I'm looking to do is I'm waiting till right now it's 318. I already have some option chains up. I have the 119s, the 120s, and if they hit NVIDIA down because they have to, I'm going to buy some options for next Friday with the thought that maybe, there's no more pressure next week and it could work. I've done this before and it's worked. Sometimes it doesn't. I'm just giving you my thoughts. So if that's the case, this chart still looks okay. This high is 119.66. Today's high is, if they hit it down low enough, what I'll probably do is I'll take some option. I'll take some lotto plays too. Maybe I'll buy some 118s and some 20s, and I'll allocate whatever I feel I'm good enough to lose, because this has been for sale. I do think mechanically, and as of the close today, it'll be done. And then it's just a matter of, is it bought and this and that. So I am going to be buying options in NVIDIA for next week for it to hopefully wake the frick up and get above 119.66 or 120.79 and give us a better move. I'm not going to buy the stock, because if the stock doesn't work, I don't want to be like risk is, endless here, but I'm going to buy the options. And I do think in my head, I'm going to do like a 3-to-1, like whatever I buy, I could probably make 3-to-1 on next week. And then once we open, I get to see the composure on Monday, then I'll probably buy the stock and figure it out. But if it's really that weak and for some reason it's just, it's just a laggard because it's a laggard, then I'll lose money in the options, and then I won't really approach it, stock wise. That's my thought there for those two.
Okay. All right. So that looks like a good note to end on. Did somebody just say, is Intel halted right now? Is that true?
Intel, let me tell you.
Or are people telling lies again?
It could be halted. What'd they come out with? Here's the chart of Intel right here.
All right. So Wall Street Journal is saying Qualcomm approached Intel about a takeover in recent days.
Whoa. That's kind of interesting. So 2050 to, geez, what a move.
All right. Let's look up.
Oh, look at Apple going now. Bastard. It's fine.
Scott, please, can we please, we need to keep this rated PG.
All right.
Let's not go there.
SMCI do anything? Nope. Going up a little bit. That's helpful. I bought a bunch down there. The life of a trader, Michael. The life of a trader. Ups and downs, up and down. That's why we try and stay as even keel as possible. You don't want to let your highs get too high. You don't want to let your lows get too low. You want to, just follow your process. Follow your process. And we'll see how it goes. That's a nice volume spike in SMCI right there. Let's go back to the intraday. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going with it, and I'm staying with a little bit of puts for the close for Apple for next week, just in case it wants to pull in. But then I love Apple overall. Chase my son's biggest position, and then someone just pinged me and said, "Hey, Red Dog, look at this CORZ. You did friggin' awesome here." Yeah, that was a nice move, a little Red Dog reversal. We were selling puts and buying the stock today. This has been really good to us. Bitcoin hangs in there. This is supposed to be the best miner AI Bitcoin stock. Someone asked me about DraftKings. I think DraftKings is kind of percolating a little bit here. Nice chart. I would leave you with this. I think DraftKings, yeah, look at that. It's nice and tight. Gets above this, it can go. So I'm just leaving you with a few ideas besides what we were just talking about. All right. I appreciate you guys. Cheers. I'm sorry. This time on a Friday, I feel like I'm like a frazzled mess. Check me out on Monday morning at the 6:30 Club, and I'm ready to go. I'm chipper. I just went in the sauna, the ice barrel. By Friday, I'm like, woof. 210,000 people on Twitter, thousands of people on Instagram, the 6:30 Club, the media, the this, the that. Red Dog's a little tired, but listen, it is what it is. We'll just continue to go. And it is my birthday tomorrow, Michael. You're right. I am old.
All right. Remember, Scott, you're only as old as you look. And you still look pretty good.
Right now. My eyes look a little tired these days. That's all
okay. Right. So everybody in the audience, say happy birthday to Scott Redler. If you don't say happy birthday, you will be banned from the 6:30 Club. So there's about 2,200 people. If you want to be able to watch the 6:30 Club, you will tell Scott Redler happy birthday. That is the rule. I don't make the rules. And of course, everybody is saying happy birthday. So thank you. So you guys will stay in. Oh, our friend Trump Corp, he's one of our favorites.
Oh, Intel just opened up.
Yeah. So I think the rumors are going to start. What I don't know if Intel actually gets taken over.
Probably not.
Something will replace it in SMH.
I would do go with some calls, some $23, $24 calls. You would think it's got to be a lot higher than that. That's the case. That's the intraday chart. That's the big gap. Anyway.
Okay. All right, guys. Go to t3live.com/show. You'll get Scott's free newsletter on Monday morning. We will follow up on all of this crazy rebalance business and the semiconductor stocks and all the fun stuff. And again, everybody say happy birthday to Scott Redler to avoid being banned from the 6:30 Club. All right, everybody. Thank you. Scott, have a perfect birthday. Say hi to Cadence and the fan. Some days are perfect. There are perfect days. Life is never perfect, but we can have perfect days once in a while. All right. Okay, everybody. Go out there and trade. Have some fun. Make some money.
All right. Later, Mikey.